WWDC is over. I've been home for like 2 days and I'm trying to work off the jet lag right now. So at any time I could But I wanted to take some time to share with you my experiences of the last week so you can see what it's been like for me at WWDC this year. So it all started with me picking up Wwdc from the airport. Federico comes to London the day before we head out to America together. We do this so we can travel together because it's a long flight and it's nice to have company, but also so we can do a meetup in London for some of our listeners of our show Connected. The London meetups are always a great time, it's full of fantastic people, and this time I got to do something that I've never done before, which was sign an iPhone, which was quite an experience, something that I took maybe too much time in enjoying. So the next day is Saturday, and that is when we head out to San Jose. So we then spent Sunday acclimatizing ourselves a little to San Jose, getting our feet for the area and trying to understand where everything is for the next week. Sunday is also one of my favorite days of the whole conference because this is the day when everybody starts to arrive, so you get to meet with and say hi to and hug and greet all of your friends that are coming into town. And what I really like about this is that it's staged over the day, so you get to have this experience time and time again as people start to arrive. So it's keynote day. So today Apple are going to be taken to the stage. It's Monday, and they're going to be talking about what's going on with iOS 11 and stuff like that. This year, because it's in San Jose, there aren't as many like keynote viewing parties. So I've done stuff like that before, where you go to a place and watch the keynote with a bunch of people. So we're going to attempt to watch it in our hotel room on this thing, and I have a small group of people coming, and we're going to try and use these bunch of cables and a MacBook and hopefully the hotel Wi-Fi so we can watch the keynote. But first, I need some breakfast. Oh, and also this year, Apple are giving out these sweet denim Levi's jackets, and my buddy Underscore got me one, so now I can look cool too. I watched the keynote in my hotel room with a bunch of friends, which was a really fun way to experience it. I neglected to take any footage of this because I was kind of too caught up with the whole experience, but Federico actually was there in person, and he took some footage of waiting in line and also being in the keynote as well. This is something that I haven't yet experienced. I've never applied for a WWDC ticket, and I haven't attended any of these events as press yet. This is something that I do really want to do, just so I can say that I've done it. It's a bucket list item for me, and hopefully one day I will be able to take my own footage of what it's like to attend a WWDC keynote. So the craziness of the keynote's over. I recorded and posted an episode of Upgrade, and now it's like 4 o'clock. There is a live recording of the Accidental Tech podcast at 5, but I've got to be there in like 15 minutes. Then I'm ducking out of that about an hour early because we're doing our meetup at the Museum of Quilt and Textiles at 7 o'clock until 9:30, and then probably something else is happening afterwards. Today, Monday, is the busy day because you've got all of Apple stuff and a bunch of events. I've got to say I'm a little bit tired right now. I was up at 5 a.m. this morning, but I got to power through. Gonna go enjoy some live shows, and then go and meet up with some awesome Relay FM fans. I got my shirt on, I got beard oil in, good to go. There were about 200 people that attended the meetup, and I also kind of neglected to take any footage of this, but in my defense, I was pretty busy talking to and hanging out with all the people that came by. But if you want to see what some of the quilts look like, and what a room of podcast hosts that are getting ready to leave for the evening looks like, well, I have sure got the footage for you. WWDC Week remains incredibly busy and full of events, even after its move from San Francisco to San Jose. As well, for me, one of the big things is getting to see people that I only would see at WWDC. I have a bunch of friends, a bunch of colleagues, a bunch of associates that I want to meet with, and that's why it's such a great event for me, and it's why I continue to go back year after year, because it's bringing all these people together. You know, quite frankly, some of my closest friends I only see at this event every year, and it's just one of the reasons that's just going to get me to keep coming back time after time, no matter where Apple hosts it. But honestly, San Jose was a really great location. It was very different to San Francisco, but I've got to say that I preferred it all in all. Just the surrounding area from our hotel and the convention center was really nice. It had lots of green and lots of flowers and lots of trees. And there are lots of nice places to eat and hang out. Not as many as San Francisco, and they didn't stay open as late as they do in San Francisco, but more than enough to hold this event, when it really feels like that WWDC is kind of taking over the town for a few days. As the week goes on, I have a few podcasts to record, a handful of podcast recordings to attend, and even a talk that my co-founder Stephen Hackett presented at another conference called AltConf. Here is a clip of that, which I obviously have included with no ulterior motive. Because Silicon Valley is home to so many companies that I'm interested in and cover, every year I also try and visit some of these companies' campuses. Last year we spent time at Dropbox and Facebook and a little bit of time at Apple, and this year we devoted that time to Google. Google's campus includes all of the amenities that you would expect a big technology company to have these days. They had cafes and restaurants and food trucks. They had things that you could do to blow off some steam. They also had knife sharpening. In case that's the thing that you needed to do at the Google campus, yes, you can get your knives sharpened as well. There are also some fun attractions to see at Google's campus. They have this installation called Liquid Earth. And of course, a whole host of Android statues as well. I really enjoyed my visit to Google, but I am happy to say that it didn't have any effect on me at all. We also visited the Computer History Museum, so here's a montage of a bunch of old computers. The week flew by really quickly, and before we knew it, we were heading back home again. So me and Federico, we got on a plane on Saturday, which took us all the way through to London by Sunday. Does it do anything? Ugh. Without a doubt, this year's WWDC has actually been my favorite. I really loved San Jose as a location, and this year there were tons of things to do and loads of exciting stuff that was happening. It was so much fun. People were so excited about the things that Apple were talking about, but also just being in a new environment, which brought with it a lot of new and exciting things. But with any conference, by the end of it, you kind of got a mix of two feelings. You want to go home because you're tired and you miss your family and your regular life, but also you don't want to leave because then you're outside of that world again and all of your friends have departed and there's no more fun activities to do every day. So I guess I'm just going to have to wait until next year. But this year, huge thumbs up.